Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Mario Day to everybody. It's March 10th, 2019. If you get it, March 10th, M-A-R. What you get it. You're smart enough. I have here Andrew.
What's up, guys?
And Sean.
How's it going, guys? What's up?
I thought you were just going to go, and that was it for your thing,
Yeah,
Andrew.
right. That would have been great. We have Andrew.
Y'all?
And thank you to our 4 viewers in the live Twitch chat.
5 right now. 5.
Oh, my God. This
We're
is
going up, fam.
Oh,
Let's
crap.
go. Let's go.
All right, we were talking about right before in the pre-show. There was a leak for a Google controller this week. That apparently is not true, as we just found out. I'm trying to get the exact source of it.
You know, it's always when people say something's really ugly that they're like, "Oh, that's not true." That's
Yeah,
not what it is.
Yeah, but we do have that Google keynote coming up. I believe it's this week. The exact date I will tell you here in a second. I should have this ready to go
It's
before
the
we start the
17th.
podcast. Is it 17th?
Mhm.
Okay. So it's the 10th now. So actually, this
A
day
week
next week,
from-
we will know.
Next Sunday,
Yeah, in 1 week.
which is Sunday is weird to have a keynote, but whatever.
Well, we're off on a great foot already for this podcast. We got a lot of games to talk about. I'm going to jump right in with the biggest game that came out this week was Devil May Cry 5. I've been playing this game. It's one of those very over-the-top games, very cheesy, cheesy one-liners, action sequences. If you guys have ever played Bayonetta, it's pretty much the same thing. It's Devil May Cry inspired Bayonetta. It's just kind of like a spin-off of that. There are 3 playable characters in this game. You start off as playing as Nero. He was in Devil May Cry 4. In this one, he's lost his arm by this mysterious hooded stranger, and now he has robotic arms created by that girl Nico, and they're called Devil Breakers. The game's really interesting because your Devil Breaker arms, they can break in combat, and they can break by either you getting attacked when you're using them as an attack, or if you like hold in the button to charge them up, and they'll do like a gigantic attack to take people on. So it's kind of interesting because it's like you may have a really good Devil Breaker, but you got to be careful when you use it because you can lose it. So it adds a different type of a little bit of replayability and game mechanic into it because there's tons of different ones. Like I've got like Mega Man's blaster. I've got one that's like a fork and spoon, like taped together and like a mashup of things. It's pretty cool.
Sounds like a pretty Japanese game to me.
Yeah. It's really cool though. Like the Devil Breakers are insane. Like some of them have like electric attacks, fire attacks, and they're nice to mix in because you'll have your basic standard like sword attack with him, a gun attack, and then the Devil Breaker. But yeah, I like him so far the best. Although I've only really played 2 of the 3 characters, and the second character I played was V. And he's the guy who I thought he was played by him, but he looks like Adam Driver, Kylo Ren from Star Wars movies.
Yeah, you sent a picture, and I was like, I looked at it, I was just like, dude, that looks exactly like Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Adam Driver for the win.
Yeah, it's not, though. I found out today. I had it written down that it was played by him, and I looked it up on IMDb, and I'm like, oh, it's not him. Some other dude.
Thank God we fact-checked.
Shut up, Sean. But with him, he never attacks anybody in the game. He has a Panther ally and I guess it's like a crow that does all the attacking for him. So as him, you kind of stand off in the background and you command the other 2 to attack for you. They're like your main 2, and then if you charge up your gauge strong enough, you can summon this giant like Titan dude to come down and like just lay waste to pretty much everything. But it's a really weird mechanic for such like a Devil May Cry has been a hack and slash game that this one you got to kind of play it off to the side and just command them from afar. That's it. I'm not a big fan of his character design. He looks just like an emo kid. He talks in very
Again, very, very Japanese style game esque.
it honestly just looks like a goth kid at a mall, and he talks in like those soliloquies of like, "Oh, the Lord will dance on your souls," and I was. And it's like really like
It's like Sean back in high school.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Like it's dead on.
Yeah. He's got the chain wallet and everything.
I used to have a pair of jeans with like a chain that like came out of the pocket, and it was so stupid.
Oh man.
How do you have a girlfriend or
I
fiance?
honestly do not know, man.
They hooked their chains one day together at the mall, and they knew they'd be together forever.
Ladies dig the chain, bro.
The really interesting thing about his whole combat is that none of his animal companion things can do the killing blow on somebody. You have to actually do it with him. So like the one button, like I'm playing on Xbox, so like I have to press like the B button or what would be the circle button on PlayStation to go in and do the attack. So you have to get close to the enemy they were killing and kill them off that way, which becomes kind of hard to do when you have a lot of guys on screen. But it's pretty cool though. I do like that. And then the final third playable character is Dante, and I haven't gotten to him yet, but I've heard he is very similar to the other Devil May Cry games, and apparently he is the best out of all of them, but I've only put in like maybe 3 hours so far to the game, and haven't gotten to him yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, the game runs a very smooth 60 frames a second. It's up converted to 4K on the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. Both have pretty similar. It actually does have online co-op, which is kind of weird, and it just happens in the game. It will pair you up randomly with another player online doing the same level as you, and they'll go like pretty much like a separate path as you, but then you kind of meet back up at the end to take on the final boss. But it's pretty cool though, because like the cutscenes will incorporate them having their fight. So I was watching like this one guy fight like this giant tree thing as Nero, and then sure enough, like the next level I'm playing as V, and there's somebody else as Nero watching me do my fight, and then meeting back up at the end. And then they have a system called gold orbs, which are after you play with that person online, you can rate them as stylish. And if you do, it gives them a gold orb. And that gold orb is like a retry for the level. So it's like if you're in a boss fight and you die, you can use one of those gold orbs to come exactly back to where you were at before you died, and then start over from there. If not, you have to pretty much start from the last checkpoint you played at. But it's kind of a weird game mechanic to have, but it's neat though, because you know it's technically online co-op.
Nice.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I did want to bring up a question with this, guys, because right now it seems like that like Capcom is kind of on a roll with the games they're putting out. Like they just put out Resident Evil 2. Before this was Monster Hunter as well. I mean,
Resident
Evil
7.
Yeah, it seems like the quality of their games have gone way up when some other company they've turned it around. I just wanted to give them props for that.
Yeah, 100%. Totally.
Were they involved in Jump Force at all?
No, I don't believe so. I could be wrong on that. I
know Jump Force had a crap ton of characters. I didn't know if Capcom was involved in that.
I don't think Capcom was involved. I'm going to double check right now.
Yeah, Bandai Namco. That's who it was.
Bandai.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're always similar enough where I get confused sometimes.
Yeah. But the game is really good, though. I definitely recommend it. All the reviews I've seen have been pretty good. It's a lot. I love the Bayonetta series games. I've played Devil May Cry before, but yeah, this is a game you can jump in without playing the other ones, because even if you play the other ones, it's not a really cohesive story where you're like, oh yeah, I remember. Like, it's very weird.
It almost starts fresh every other game.
Yeah, and that's the thing is they can never get the. They keep changing the timeline. They were changing the timeline. They couldn't decide if 4 came between like 2 and 1 and whatever else. But there's online. I watched an online YouTube video of like a recap, and I was like, yeah, I knew all that.
It sounds as complicated as Kingdom Hearts.
It's way less complicated than Kingdom Hearts.
There's only 3 Kingdom Hearts. 3 main Kingdom Hearts. Let's put it that way. 3 main.
Yeah. It is weird that they went back to 5.
7, 9.
All right, well, I'm gonna move on here because we had a lot today. Andrew, for Super Mario Day, although you wish you got it on sale.
I know.
Super Mario Bros. U for the Switch. You recently picked it up.
Yes.
How is it?
I love it. It's so the thing that I really enjoy about it is you can pick. I think it's 5 characters. You get Mario, Luigi, Toad, Princess Toad, and who's the other one? I forget. There's one more. I think one more. Or it might just be those 4 that you get to play through the entire game with. And each one you start back at the beginning. So you basically go through the whole journey with each one of them, and each one of them can get different like power-ups along the way. Like Princess Toad has her own like special ability with the mushrooms that she can get and stuff like that. I've been playing with Luigi. I'm probably not even halfway through the whole game yet with him. Mm-hmm. But I'm having a lot of fun. Obviously, it's like every other Mario game. It's frustrating, but I'm very much enjoying it. I'm happy I got it, even though I got it for $59.99 2 days ago, and now it's on sale for $39.99.
It's always the worst.
But I had store credit at a store, so I didn't technically pay for it. So
there you go.
But it's worth it. I would definitely recommend picking it up if you guys didn't get a chance to play it on the Wii U like I didn't, because I didn't own one. So
I did own it on the Wii U. I will say, because I have thought about picking it up. How does it look like on the Wii U and in like in HD? Like, is it clear, like really crisp looking?
Oh, it looks awesome. It looks like what's the one? I guess there's one that came out, Super Mario 3DS. Yeah. It looks better than that, and I thought that one looked really good. Mm-hmm. So
I was excited for that when it came out on the Wii U, because I think it was like the first Mario game in HD. Yeah. And like that was 720p, and like now they upconverted to 1080p, and I'm like, I want to.
It looks awesome. The game looks incredible.
Have you gotten up to the like Vincent Van Gogh world yet?
No, okay. No. I'm in like the ice world.
Okay.
And where you can go to like the ice, or you can go to the like. There's like a water world. You can go to either one.
Okay.
And I just went to the ice, but I'm not the Vincent Van Gogh world yet.
Yeah, I think it's called like Starry Night or something.
Yeah.
I think I left off around there. Like I never finished that game. I actually think my wife beat it. But I lost a little bit of interest at the time with something else coming out, I'm sure. All right, but moving on from that. Now, I don't know if Sean, if you played it, but Andrew, you said you went back to the Division 2 beta.
Yes. I know Sean played because me and him were talking about it the other day.
Yeah, we're talking about it yesterday.
Oh, don't include me in it. I see how it is. All right.
Yeah.
Work on Saturday. Maybe we will.
Hell no.
Me and Sean literally talk on the phone for 2.5 hours every
Our entire route, we're just on the phone.
But I went back and played it again. I'm more undecided on getting it than I was when I played the closed beta. The only thing that I really don't like is all the enemies are such bullet sponges that like I feel like I'm wasting my entire clips every time I get into a fight, even if it's just a little like guy on the street that I'm trying to kill. Like I feel like I have to use like multiple clips to get them all killed, and that's one of my major things that I don't like. But I'm very, much undecided on it now, more so than I was previously with the closed beta.
No, and you talk about the bullet sponging, and it's definitely a weird, unexplainable feeling. But I understand, like I know what you're saying. It takes almost an entire magazine to get a level 2 enemy down, and that's like hitting all your shots, whether it be in the body or like in the head. And you look at games like Destiny and Anthem; they didn't have those issues. I could knock out 3, 4, 5 enemies with a single clip. But in the Division, you can't do that.
Now, I know Jim knows that feeling because I know when we played the first Division together, we got to one of the bosses. I just froze for a second. I'm sorry.
No,
one of the bosses we got to was a complete bullet sponge, and me and Jim literally sat there for maybe 5-10 minutes just trying to kill the one guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I played the Division 1. I had the exact same problem. I didn't play with anybody. But
Literally the worst.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So I'm hoping that once it full releases, that they kind of tamper with it a little bit and fix it. I don't know that will happen because it's Ubisoft and they kind of don't do that. But, I mean, we'll see. If not, I think I'm going to get it, though. I do think it pushed me over. I think I'm going to get it.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, like I was teetering, like I'm not sure where I want to go. If I do want to go and grab it, or if I don't want to go and grab it, I'm definitely up in the air like you.
I mean,
good.
I mean, I mainly want to get it. Something else to play on stream, which Fortnite I'm kind of falling back from right now. I'm just kind of getting bored of it, which we could talk about later when we get to Fortnite. But like that's one of the main reasons I think I'm more undecided and more leaning toward getting it now is because I need something else to play on stream, and I know I'll have fun with it at least.
And I mean, when I was playing the beta, I had fun. You know what I mean? Those are fun types of games. I mean, I had a great time with the Division 1, but the bullet sponging is definitely a problem.
That's my biggest issue with those games. That's my 100% biggest issue.
If they're able to nerf it, great. Because like I said, you don't see Destiny having this kind of problem at all. No one ever brought up the fact that, enemies are bullet sponges or same as Anthem.
You have to get the weapons more powerful. You're going to have to give us like I don't know, if like a sniper or something that can take down or do like a lot of damage to a boss or a group of people at one time that can take out a group of people or do massive damage. That way I don't have to use all my ammo. And I know they give us a lot of ammo as we go through the different like even just walking on the street, you find ammo, but it's still more annoying. Like, all right, like I had 700 bullets on me. Now after this, like 2 floors of enemies, I'm down to like 100. Like it sucks.
Yeah, man.
Let me know what you guys think on that. Like, because I think, like, honestly, I'm going to pass on the Division because, like, I didn't put that much time into the first one. But, yeah, it's so weird that – because it's human characters that are bullet sponges. And you're like, I shot him in the head. He should be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it's like aliens or robots or whatever. It's humans with just armor. Like post-apocalyptic world armor.
Yeah.
So it's like plastic bottles.
Yeah.
Just wrapped around you.
Well, we'll find out this week. So next podcast, we'll have an update for you guys.
When does that come out? Does that come out this week?
It comes out the 15th.
Yes, so Thursday, right?
For if you got the standard, and it comes out Tuesday with the
early access,
ultimate, and the deluxe, whatever they're called, editions.
Yeah.
Speaking of, sorry, I want to go back a couple games here. Speaking of deluxe editions, I bought the deluxe edition of Devil May Cry 5, and it's got one of the coolest features I've ever seen in a game. It has a feature where during the cutscenes, you can like hit one of the buttons, and it'll actually show you their like concepts for the cutscene, like the actual actors doing the motions and everything like that before they went and changed it to CGI and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's really weird too because like if it's anything with like automobiles, like if they're driving the car, it's literally Hot Wheels. Like it's a guy pushing a Hot Wheel car down like a little street and stuff like that.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was really cool. Just wanted to mention that. All right, moving on to another shooter that Sean has been playing, which I didn't know was free on PlayStation Network. You're saying Modern Warfare Remastered?
Yeah, so for this month on PSN, if you're a PS Plus member, you get a free game every month. This month is Modern Warfare Remastered, and definitely having a huge nostalgia trip playing this game. I actually just finished the campaign, just BS, and took like a couple hours, 4 or 5 hours. But yeah, dude, it was just I'm as the missions are going on, I'm just quoting everything Captain Price says or Gaz. I like all the little one-liners and stuff like that. It was a good time.
Nice. So how does it hold up by today's standards?
It looks great, honestly. It's completely remastered for I'm pretty sure HDR and all that. So I mean, it just looks so pretty. I dabble with the multiplayer.
Did they fix the multiplayer?
What was the problem with it? Because I didn't know.
There's a lot of hacking going on, and they were having issues with the servers. Because that's the one that came attached to
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's by itself. I haven't had a server issue. I wasn't sure if there was cheating either. I mean, my issue with it.
I mean, we're talking like 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see much of an issue. But my thing was, and I don't remember if this was how it was in the original Modern Warfare. If I'm just like misremembering or anything, but the TTK is unbelievable. Like it's literally like 2 shots, you're dead, and that's not hardcore. Like I'm playing regular team deathmatch. I'm taking 1 shot from an M16, just a 3-round burst. I'm dead, and I'm shooting guys with a 3-round burst. They're dead. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was an issue before, if that was the case before, but it was crazy. I was like, I like literally, I'm getting blown away. I'm like, what is going on right now?
Well, I just downloaded Call of Duty Remastered to my PlayStation while you were talking about it. So hopefully,
hey, Jim.
Now, because I got to ask, because like going back to older games, control wise, I know pretty much Call of Duty revolutionized like the way first person shooters are done.
Yeah, the way we play now.
Yeah. Does the button layout, is it still the same? Is it like still hold up, or does it feel a little weird?
No, it's exactly how you would think it would play.
All right, cool, nice.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, because it's like one of those games where you'll have like just nostalgia glasses on, and you go back and you're like, holy crap, I played this. Like these controls are terrible. But
I mean, looking at how things have come out the past year or two, I mean the remastered genre. I mean, should we make a remastered genre in video games? You know, we've had so many good remasters that have come out from. The Crash, I guess, was made a little too hard, but you had the Spyro one that's been doing great, Resident Evil 2 that's been doing great. I mean, I like this Modern Warfare remaster that came out 2-3 years ago, like you said, Andrew.
Supposedly, now this is just rumored.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna make the next Call of Duty is either gonna be Ghosts 2 or Modern Warfare. What would it be 3 now? 3?
4. No, because there was a 3. Yeah.
Modern Warfare 4.
I would buy that over Ghost 2.
It'll come with Modern Warfare 2 remastered attached to it.
Take my money.
That's the rumor.
Take my money.
That's the
Take
rumor.
my money.
So we might be getting another remastered with Call of Duty. So
that's the only way I would even buy a Call of Duty game again. Honestly.
My bet is going to be Call of Duty Cowboy Warfare. That's
Call of Duty Cowboys and Indians.
Yes.
We're taking it back in time, folks.
Or I'm sorry, Cowboys and Native Americans.
Yes.
Dude, Cowboys and Native Americans Battle Royale. That'd be pretty dope.
That actually would be fun.
Y'all smoking something, yo.
Cowboys with ray guns.
All right. Going back here to not that old of a game, but Andrew, you've been replaying Breath of the Wild.
Yes, I bought that too for $60. 2 years old, but that game, I'm still having as much fun as the first time I played through it. And it's just that game withstands time. Like I feel like 5 years from now, I can go back into that game and I'm still gonna enjoy every second I'm playing it. Like, just there's so much content and like it's just like I can't say enough good things about that game or Breath of the Wild that I gotta stop saying that game. Breath of the Wild. That like just you can replay different like aspects of it and it's just worth every penny of $60 again.
It sounds like you're reminiscing about Karen.
when I went to GameStop to go rebuy it, the guy was like, "Oh, do you want the expansion pass?" I'm like, "This ain't my first time buying this game, bro. Like, I already have the expansion pass." I'm like, I had this game when it first came out, my man.
I still have yet to play the expansion pass for that. I was looking forward to it so much, and then
yeah, I mean the expansion pass was like what $25 or something like that.
It's cheap, yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I never grabbed it.
Especially for a game like that. Come on, man. $25? Ooh, that's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bought all the amiibos and everything for that game, man. I was addicted to
Those
that.
amiibos like sold out like ridiculously quick.
They did. All right. Moving on here. I have prepared a special quiz time for you gentlemen.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right. Because of the release of Devil May Cry this past Friday and the Friday prior was Dead or Alive. Both are known for their extreme cheese. They have some of the cheesiest one-liners. Yeah, cheesiest assets in the whole game. So I have made a list here of 10 quotes from Dead or Alive and Devil May Cry. I'm going to read the quote for you guys. You're going to tell me if it comes from Devil May Cry or Dead or Alive. And I believe
we got to guess the cheese.
Yes, you got to guess the cheese.
We got to guess the cheese.
Whose cheese does it smell like?
Oh no.
So I got 10 here. You guys are each going to get 5. We'll see. If you have a tie, we have a tie. It just means you're both the cheesiest. Do I have a volunteer for who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I don't care.
Is that all right with you, Sean?
Yeah, man. Let the big man go.
All right. I'm going to try to keep score here, too. Let me, Andrew. Sean. All right. Andrew, here's your first one. Fire's bad for the complexion. I burn easily, never tan.
That's Dead or Alive.
It is from Devil May Cry, actually.
That sounded like something like a girl with big assets would.
It's all about the big assets.
Don't ask me who said these. I was just going through and writing them down from each site's Wikipedia, pretty much.
Gosh darn it.
Okay.
I thought I had that.
All right, Sean, you ready for yours?
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
Enough with the foreplay.
Oh, that's Dead or Alive.
That is correct.
Yeah. Big assets.
She was ready to assets.
All right, Andrew. You're a bad child. I will make you see it.
I'm going to say Dead or Alive.
You got it. It is Dead or Alive. You got that one.
These are cheesy, bro.
You're a bad boy.
All right, here you go, Sean.
Give me the cheese.
May I have this dance, m'lady?
I'm going to say Devil May Cry.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Yeah. Whose cheese is it anyway?
All right, Andrew. Damn it. If it's not one weirdo, it's another.
Devil May Cry.
Dead or Alive.
He's so
No more time I don't say Dead or Alive.
All right. Sean. Here we go. You brought your evil back with you. Unforgivable.
Devil May Cry.
Dead or alive.
Oh, all right.
Both of these they're so close. All right, back to
So
Andrew.
we're on our fourth each now, right?
Yes, this is your
Okay.
fourth round here.
All
Each got 2 more questions. All right, so Andrew, here we go. Whatever, lady. I'll leave this to you because I don't want to miss the party.
Is it Devil May Cry?
Yes, sir. You got it. Ties it up.
Oh no,
Puts the pressure back on Sean.
I'm feeling it.
All right, here you go, Sean. Ah ha 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 ha! How truly enjoyable.
Dead or alive?
Yes, sir.
Eee.
This is going to kind of work out perfectly here to the last round. All right, Andrew, to tie it. It's the stench of betrayal.
Dead or alive?
Devil May Cry.
Oh, I won. Let's go.
All right, well, you got to get this last one because if
All
not,
right.
this I say the best for the last.
Okay, here we go.
Jester's going to spank your butt. Spank you on the butt.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with Dead or Alive.
Devil May Cry.
All right, whatever.
Why couldn't it be like, come play with my assets? I would know that's Dead or Alive.
Anyway, Sean wins the cheese.
Where's my cheese at, Jim? Give it to me.
We'll get you a big cheese.
I'll give you some for Monday cheese.
Ooh, I'll take it. Is it aged well?
Been there since Vietnam.
You should shower.
So I think we've each now won a quiz. I won the one Sean did. Andrew won the first one. You won that one. So we're all tied up.
Let's go, dude.
All right. So I lumped this into the kind of the final thing, or one of the final things here. I put this as the Apex, Fortnite, Anthem updates. Because we always talk about pretty much all 3 of these games, almost every podcast. We're each playing one of them. I'll start with I'll just start with Anthem here because that was mine. They've been updating the game. They threw in some more patches and stuff like that. The game's slowly getting better. I know a lot of the crashes on PS4 are still happening and stuff like that. I know it's supposed to come out next week. Still enjoying the game, still playing it, but I mean that's pretty much it. Nothing really's happened. How about Fortnite, Andrew? Has anything big happened with them this week?
Well, Season 8's going strong. For me personally, I'm just kind of bored of streaming it and bored of playing it. Just kind of happens every now and again, especially with Fortnite, because I play it so often that sometimes I just like need to take a break from it. And it's kind of difficult to like when you stream almost every day, like to play the same game for 4 hours every single day. Like, I don't know how Ninja does it. Like, I guess it's different when you're like really, really good at it. Because I'm not. But
You're better than I am. I'll give you that.
Same here.
But you know, it's going strong though. People are saying they think Season 8's the best season by far. And it's cool. They added a lot of cool stuff to the map, you know, that I've talked about before, but just for me, I need a break. But it's going strong. Nothing just broke. I think it just broke a record for most concurrent players at the same time or something like that. So it's still there. It's still going.
And going back a little bit, you jumped in and played a little bit of Anthem. I saw this week. How did you like it?
I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it looked really good. It was funny. Me and my brother were actually having this conversation yesterday. My brother said the same thing I did. He was like, I really don't. He's like, I hate this game. Like, I think it's stupid. And then he kept playing it and was like, actually, you know what? Like, this game's actually pretty fun. And I had the same thing. I actually really enjoyed it. I actually used all my 10 hours.
Oh, really? Damn.
For a trial, so I played for 10 hours. But I'm I'm probably gonna buy it eventually. I'm just waiting. I just want there to be a couple more patches. I know they
Definitely.
still have. I don't know if they patched the thing with the higher tier weapons don't do as much damage as your standard. I don't know if that
Not
got.
yet. Not yet.
No, yeah, not yet.
But so I'll wait for that. Once that's patched, then I'll play so I can grind. I didn't really grind. I was kind of more just like exploring, I guess.
That's what I did
In
in my
my 10
playthrough.
hours, I wasn't really like playing missions. I was just kind of going out and shooting stuff and, whatever. But,
I think
yeah.
that's the best way to enjoy it.
But I'll play the missions and stuff, like I said, when, the other issue we were talking about with Anthem, they don't really tell you how to play.
No.
So
Yeah, true.
when my brother was saying this to me, it's like, it's the truth. Like when you loot stuff, like, how do I know what to salvage and whatnot? Like, how do I know that this one's worth more to me than this one? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this is going to do for me in the future. Like maybe this gun, I can get upgraded or whatever and not have to salvage it. Like, and what if I salvage something that I should have kept? Like, they need to do a better job at explaining that.
Mhm.
And they don't.
Yeah.
Which that's what I think Destiny did a really good job in, is explaining everything to you and showing you, okay,
Mhm.
you shouldn't get rid of this, you should keep this. Like, so I think they need to fix that as well. I don't know that they will, but that's a little confusing, especially when they do a system like that where part of it is salvaging stuff. So they got to kind of explain it better.
I will say, for your benefit, salvage pretty much everything until you hit level 30, because none of the weapons, like I said, with that, they need to patch it right now where that weapons actually make a difference. But yeah, like I really enjoy Destiny because I took my time going through the main missions. I didn't like blitz through the main story to get to the end game. I'm at kind of like the pre-end game right now. I'm taking my time because I'm waiting for those patches to kind of catch up and make it a more enjoyable experience at the end.
Now, speaking of Destiny, real quick, I saw a rumor.
Okay.
And this is just a rumor that at E3 they're gonna tease a new Destiny. Nothing crazy, like kind of how they did with Halo, where it's just like a little trailer. But Bungie's gonna be working on a third one to release when the new consoles come out. So, looking probably 1-2 years away. But I saw a rumor that Bungie wants to show that they are going with, by themselves on their own, making it. Which I think they still need to find a publisher. But
I think they should honestly make the third one free. I think because I think they are, even though they're not Activision anymore, the common gamer doesn't know that, and they got burned on the first two, kind of. So I think that's going to be a really hard sell, that name, for people. I would like to see it free because then I think they could make their money back on cosmetics and stuff like that.
now that rumor could be that it's Destiny 3, but it could be that they're making a completely other series that people don't know about and just think it's Destiny 3. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, we'll see what happens when it comes down though. E3.
I did see that this week. I saw that when I was going through I forget where I saw it, but I did see it.
Now, Sean, have you played any Apex this week, or was your time all taken up by Modern Warfare?
No. Yeah, I played Apex this week. There was actually a patch earlier in the week that nerfed the Wingman, which is one of the most, people were saying it was pretty OP. It was like a revolver, 6-shot revolver. You can obviously extend the mag and all that on it, but there's attachments in Apex where you attach to your gun. You can make them improved a little bit. The Wingman takes a skull piercer hop up. So the skull piercer, with that attached on the Wingman, I think it dealt 2.5 times 2.5 more headshot damage to every headshot to the head, and it was just like putting people down like left and right. They nerfed it a bit. They tweaked it back, I think, to 2.2, I think, times damage on the headshot. So they nerfed it back a little bit. They reduced the rate of fire, and they also made it rarer to find out in the game. And they also did the same thing to the Peacekeeper, which the Peacekeeper is it's almost like a pump action shotgun, but it's like lever action. They did the exact same thing. They nerfed that. I think they nerfed the rate of fire on that, and they also made that rarer to find out in the field. But they also increased the drop ratings of energy weapons and energy ammo. So that's more like prevalent across the map now. You'll be able to find that a lot more, which that was pretty rare at the time. Those were pretty hard to find. Other than that, still waiting on any kind of news for the season 1 pass, but yeah, nothing yet.
Cool. No, definitely. I just right. I did see that patch. I was wondering. So is the gameplay still pretty much the same though? I mean, does it feel better to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. And I've used the wingman since the patch. I found one. I've used the peacekeeper. They still feel pretty. They feel good. They haven't really felt overpowered to me that much. But I mean, if it's in the right hands, like if you're great at aiming, it's game over, especially with the wingman.
Nice. All right. Well, that is going to wrap up just our newer release games. We're going to move on here to an idea that Sean had. So if you guys don't like it, you can blame him.
Please do.
Yeah. Now, I think it's pretty cool. We are going to do a top 5 games to each one of us from different decades. We're going to start off here with 2000 to 2009, and we're going to pick 5 games each from any system. And I guess just explain, like, why we chose the games that we did, what their meaning is to us, and, how good they are. All right, who wants to start us off on this one?
You want to start, Sean? Because my list is kind of built off if you chose a certain game and not.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Do we want to do one person at a time, or do we just want to go all 5 through each one?
Yeah, no, we can go one at a time. I like that idea.
Did you want to start with number 5 for each one, and go 4, 3, 2, 1?
I don't even have them like numbered like that. I mean, I could do that though. But I if I had a number 5, I would go with, off my list, the first Infamous game, which was a PlayStation exclusive. It came out in 2009, kind of like right on the cutoff of our little game here. But yeah, it was a story-driven game made by Sucker Punch. Coming out of left field, no one knew or heard of this. It was a completely brand new IP. Stellar gameplay, superhero game where you have electrical powers and you kind of just go along your way, finding out how you got these powers, what they can do. As you progress through the story, you upgrade, and the story gave you the morality choices of being either you could be a superhero or a supervillain. And when it came down to the end, your choices made all the impact, and there was a crazy twist at the end of the story. I won't spoil here. I'm sure I think you guys might have played the game.
Yes.
Crazy twist.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. I literally it blew my mind. I grabbed my mom. I was like, Mom, you gotta watch the end of this game. And I made her watch, and she was like, wow. I was like, yeah, right.
Wow.
So I never played Infamous.
Oh my God, Andrew. Yeah, it was a wild ride, man. I definitely recommend you find a way to play it.
Well, I don't have a PlayStation, so.
All right. Well, if we get a PS5.
PS3.
Yeah, it was a PS3 game.
Yikes.
I will say Infamous, I remember the gameplay on that being so much fun and of following the story as it went along. But I remember I think they did those comic book cut screens where it was not acted. So it was I'm following, it's okay. And then when it got to that ending, it was it blew my mind. I was like, holy crap, that
yeah. It was great.
That was awesome. But nice. All right, Andrew, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
You can go.
All right. I don't have a particular order on these guys either. All right, I'll start off here.
I guess I'm the only one that put mine in order.
All right, so for my 5th game here, I wanted to make sure I brought some love to the GameCube. And still one of my favorite games. This game got me back into video games. I was getting done high school. When I was younger, I had a Nintendo 64 and then a GameCube, and not much really came out for the GameCube. I never had a PS2 for a while. But I remember I was working at Payless Shoe Source at the time. I was on my break, and I just wandered down to GameStop because I was like, you know what, I want to play a video game. I haven't played any in a while. I want to get back into it. And I bought Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door. and
He has the game case.
I got the game still in there, man. So the instruction booklet and everything. I love this game. This game blew me away. I was a big fan of the one on the Nintendo 64. And when I went in there, I was like, you know what? Yeah, it was like kind of like comfort food. I just was like, yeah, I want to play that game again. It has a great story. The writing and everything in these games are so good for what they are. I can't say enough good about them. I really wish this game would come to the Switch because I think it's one of the biggest recommendations of any game I can give to anybody. Is the Paper Mario games.
If it came to the Switch, I would definitely get it. I never had a GameCube growing up, so that would definitely be something cool to play. I never played a Paper Mario game before,
God,
so yeah.
So yeah, it's really like because I mean it's like that Pokemon RPG style fighting a little bit, but it's more like kid friendly to it. They're like little mini games that you play to fight the enemies and stuff like that, and it's just the banter that goes on between the enemies and you, and then just everything else in the world. It's its own world and it breathes life into everything.
Awesome.
But that's my first one. So Andrew, on to you.
So
Number 5.
My number 5 is actually a game that you guys probably know. I know me and Sean have definitely talked about this before. But when I originally did this list, I had put Pokemon Sapphire.
Mhm.
But I took it out after, looking over this earlier today. My number 5 game is Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition.
Oh,
no, he didn't.
Oh
no.
Why did you have that in there?
No. But that game was amazing. Keep going.
That game for me, I remember sitting with my brother and like one of my brother's friends at the time, and just sitting there playing that and literally just turning every other song in the game off and listening to do 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 do, and this is how we do.
Yeah, bro.
I remember just cruising around in like a I don't even know what the car was. I want to say a Cadillac or something, and just like literally just bumping it and going through like there was that baseball field that you could drive into and just driving the car around the baseball field. But I never liked car games or anything, but Dub Edition was like
it was so fun.
Tier.
Yeah,
it was just fun to play. You could just drive around and have a good time.
Yeah.
So that came out in 2005. So I was 10 years old at the time that came out. But that game, man, like I don't think it would be like with today's standards. Like if that came out today, people would probably be like, I'm never not playing this game. But that game for me was one of the most fun car games. You could customize your car however you wanted. You could put tint. You could do everything. It was awesome. So that's my number 5.
I never played that game. I said I was a GameCube kid.
Jimmy there?
I was a poor GameCube kid. I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. I said I was a poor GameCube kid. I never played that game.
Oh no.
Jim, you keep cutting out. You all right?
Hold on a second. Let me
Jim.
I'm here.
Oh boy.
I thought hey, well, he's all right. He's back. All right.
Yeah, I'm closing
his cameras first.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let's pause this.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead with mine. I'm just gonna kind of go. For my number 4. Are we good?
You're moving. You moved a little bit.
All right. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna go with my number 4. I'm gonna go with Resident Evil 4, which actually came out in 2005 also. Story-driven game out by Capcom.
Yeah, dude, 2005.
2005.
Man.
Yeah, man, that was the year. Dude, this game blew my mind. I was always scared to play Resident Evil games, and my buddy, Dave, obviously from work, picked it up for GameCube, man. And I remember watching him play, just being like all like ready to jump and like terrified. And like I realized as he was playing, I was like, this is like action oriented. And there's when Capcom made the switch from going to the horror survival genre to the action horror combo that it was, and it was phenomenal, man. Every boss fight, every gun in the game, everything about that game blew me away. I had so much fun playing it, and to this day, I still get it. For every system it gets re-released for, I get it, I play it, I beat it, and I have the best time with it.
Nice. Do you see me? Am I moving on the screen for you guys?
You freeze again?
Yeah, you freeze again.
Oh, my goodness.
No, you're not moving, but we can hear you.
All right.
Andrew, you want to go with one?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
So, I moved another one of my.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
My other game that I replaced on my list, I actually replaced San Andreas with this. Time Splitters.
Yeah, I actually used to play that a lot too when I was younger.
On GameCube, man. So I remember just sitting in my living room in my house playing. There was a Time Splitters mode, and it was almost like a zombie. One of you was a zombie, and you infected every other person.
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of cool characters you could use. Like I remember there being like a monkey with a gun, like literally like a chimpanzee that you would run around with. I just remember that being like, that was like one of the first times, like, sitting there, everyone's playing. I remember Time Splitters. That came out in 2000. I definitely played it way later than that. But I remember sitting in the living room playing that on GameCube and loving every second of it. I think it was out for PlayStation 2, if I'm not wrong. But
yeah, it was.
I just remember it from GameCube. It might not even been the first Time Splitters that I played. It could have been like one of the other ones.
Time Splitters 2, I think, was more popular, and that's what I played.
I just remember Time Splitters in general as being one of the games that I played, so it could count whatever, one or two. But Time Splitters was. I just remember sitting there playing that. There was like some castle level where you'd run around the castle and the zombie would be coming after you, and you'd have to try and kill it. That was one of the most fun games I've had playing. My list is mainly just games off of like that I personally had the most fun, with other people and stuff like that. Not necessarily always the quote unquote best games, but but that was one of the games I had the most fun. San Andreas got bounced for it. San Andreas was one of my favorite games, but Time Splitters was more fun than that.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose. These games are based off of what they meant to you when you were younger, man. And you're throwing these games out, and I'm like, dude, I wish that was on my list too. Well, I feel like we can go on and on with these,
especially Time Splitters. Time Splitters is like, that's a classic.
Yeah,
people forget about that game.
Jim, how you doing over there?
I'm good. Am I coming in clear for you guys now? No. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, I'm gonna.
It says your bandwidth is low.
I'm gonna pause this for a second. Hang on. Hey everybody, we're back. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulties on my end. All right, so it's my turn. It's my turn here. I'm not freezing for you guys, right?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. All right. You said, "Come on, Jim," and I'm like, "Oh man." All right, I want to stick with you. I want to stick with GameCube here. I'm going to go with my next one is Phantasy Star Online.
These all the games.
I know. I'm sorry. These nerdy games. This was another one that it's so weird. It's just a RPG online, but I never even got to play it online. Just me and my neighbors used to play this game all the time. When I first got this game, I played like the first like level of it, and I was like, "Oh, it's not for me." It's all right. I tried playing like some sword wielding character, and I put it down, and then my neighbors came over later that night for, I think it was like New Year's Eve, and they were like, "Oh, you have a GameCube. Like, what games do you have?" And I showed them this one. They're like, "Oh, let's play it. It says it's 2 players." And I jumped back in there. I made this little like sorceress girl, and I was just addicted to it after that. It was just that grind of getting to the next level, getting rare loot, kind of like the same thing that Anthem and Destiny do now. And I just love playing it single player, just, trying to get my level high enough to go and like face like this big dragon at the end of the level. It's one of the games I really want them to come out with on Switch here in the US, because it is on Switch in Japan. You can play it still to this day. And I just hope it gets moved over to the Switch because I would spend a lot more time on this game. So back to you, Sean.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, I'm going to go with my number 3 on this list, which is so hard to choose a number 3. I wasn't prepared for a numbered list. I'm going to go with Modern Warfare 2, which also came out in 2009, so that just makes the cut too. Obviously, everyone knows the Modern Warfare series, Modern Warfare online shooter, mind-blowing. Just made so many mind-blowing changes to the shooter genre back in the day. The story one for this is what kind of like hooked me, as well as the challenge. I forget what the challenge mode was. It Spec Ops? Andrew, do you remember the challenge mode?
Oh, honestly, I don't.
You can't remember? Nah, but just playing through the game, like the story, just like and like I just completely fell in love with it. But being so McTavish, and you had you were being like his like little like I guess Lieutenant Roach and shit like that. You find Price again. Just brought back so many memories from playing the original Modern Warfare, and then everything comes full circle in the second one. But going back to the Spec Ops, I'm pretty sure it was Spec Ops missions, but each one had a specific challenge. Yeah. Each one had a specific challenge set in it, and just like I remember just sitting there for hours and hours, just sitting there trying to get the grind, trying to complete every challenge, whether it be like don't be seen for like 2 minutes, or like eliminate all these enemies in like a minute and 30 seconds. There's like all these like crazy things, and I just had a really good time with it. And not to mention the multiplayer, which to me still to this day was the top multiplayer game of all time.
Now, was Modern Warfare 2, was that the one you play as a terrorist? Was that one?
Yeah.
Okay. And
The Russian. That's what the mission was called.
Yeah, and because they all kind of blend together to me because like they were all like the biggest games at the time. But spoiler alert, I mean, not totally. Is the second one or the first one where like your main character like dies at the end with the nuclear blast? Where
that wasn't at the end. That's mid game.
It was a mid game on that one.
Yeah. You're a guy. Because I just recently played, I know the name, but you were a guy named Private Jackson, and after you save a pilot from a helicopter crash, that's when the nuke goes off. And
yeah. I know you shoot that one guy, he throws you the gun or whatever.
I think Modern Warfare 2, one of the Spec Ops missions was you're in this plane and you have to make your way through the plane and get all the hostages. I think that's Modern Warfare 2.
No, that's the epilogue of Modern Warfare, the first one. That's just the epilogue.
Yeah, and I remember like being pissed off because it was so hard for me to do back then.
beat it on veteran, man. That was I think it was an achievement, and it honestly that one took me a ton of time to complete.
So many people firing at you.
Yeah, dude. You're in such your tight quarters. It's crazy.
All right, Andrew.
You want to go back to normal order, or do you want
me to? Yeah, I'll go next.
It doesn't matter to me.
All right, I'll jump off the GameCube bandwagon here. So when I got an Xbox 360, I didn't know what games to get, and this one came out a little bit after the Xbox 360 came out. But I remember playing this for the first time and just being blown away. And I never played the Max Payne games, so it was a whole new mechanic to me. But I'm going with John Woo's Stranglehold. Have either one of you guys
played that? Yeah, I did. I did play that.
I never did play it. No.
I put way more time than I should have into this game. It had an online component where it was like Max Payne. So if you went and you dived like left or right, the game would go in slow motion.
Yeah.
And like you could slide across tables.
It was like the Matrix.
Yeah. You could slide across tables. You could like go in. I think you could like throw stuff at people in slow motion. They just worked with the slow motion mechanic, and like this got me into watching like the movie Hard Boiled and all the John Woo films and everything like that. This was an awesome game for the time. It was severely underrated. I mean, not like the best in the series, but like I said, I spend the most time with this. This one holds a spot in my heart. I loved it.
All right. Number 3 for me. I know I'm probably going to get some crap for this one, but World of Warcraft. So
I'm going to keep it PG for the podcast here.
The most hours I've probably spent in a video game is World of Warcraft. Back when I was a kid, me, my dad, and my two brothers would all literally stay up, and we would fall asleep in the living room playing WoW every weekend that we were over his house. Like,
Nice.
no joke, we would be falling asleep and wake up in the living room. We wouldn't take showers like all weekend. We would just wake up and play World of Warcraft again. When we'd order pizza, Chinese food, like soda, it was just, that's what we did. So WoW for me growing up was a big one. I actually didn't like WoW at first, but then I got into it the more I played it. There's a night elf hunter on the Alliance. Always Alliance. My entire family was the Alliance. We weren't Horde. But I remember, like, my brother would take off days of school, like when the new expansions dropped, and play again. But WoW, definitely for me, and definitely for a lot of people. I mean, that's probably your biggest. Not probably, it is your biggest MMO out there. So, WoW for me it had to be in my top 5. Incredible game. I still dabble in it to this day. So, for me, that's big for me.
Good.
I like it. All
I
right, so
don't know what a
Sean, right?
horde. I don't know what a horde or an alliance is, but yeah.
They're two
I
factions.
know 2 factions. Yeah, I got that together.
Good guys, bad guys.
Yeah, good guys, bad guys. Yeah.
All right, I'll go with number 2 on my list. So I'm honestly like going back and forth right now, but I think I'm gonna go with Mass Effect as my number 2, which is a BioWare game. We've been talking about a BioWare game for about a month now. Can't stop talking about them.
Yes, sir.
Nah, but I mean, I mainly picked this just because of the entire franchise for me, just Mass Effect in general. That my next game, I think I put the most hours in, but the second would 100% be every Mass Effect game. It was just a fantastic RPG. It introduced me to the RPG genre pretty much. Actually, yeah, I would say it introduced me to the RPG genre. I can't talk today. I'm sorry, guys.
It's all right.
No, but it was just a ton of fun taking control of Commander Shepard. You could, you can make him your own if you wanted to, or you can keep him the way that they made him, and you just go through the story. And again, so it was one of those morality choice games where you could either be a renegade or a paragon. Obviously, renegade being evil, paragon being good, and yeah, obviously the end of the game. Every decision you made through the game, whether it be if you cured the, if you started the genophage with the Krogan, or if you kept the genophage with the Krogan, not release the cure, if you kept Ash alive or Caden, Caden, all those decisions came back in some way to bite you in the end, and it just culminated in a great story and a great series, and I really love those games.
I'm gonna play them one of these days. One of these.
Yeah, man, gotta.
All right. For my next one here is a game I never beat, and it's because I am too big of a wuss to beat this game. And when we talk about horror games and stuff like that, this is like the one horror game that scared the living crap out of me as a kid. That's Eternal Darkness for the GameCube. I have a GameCube going here. Have either one of you guys played Eternal Darkness?
No, I never even heard of that.
Oh, you haven't? This was what the heck is the publishers on this one? Silicon Knights, and there's somebody else today, and I am forgetting on who they pretty much transformed into. It is kind of like a Resident Evil style, like old school Resident Evil style, like that top-down view. But it is just weird. You start off as a young girl going back to see her grandfather died, like a gruesome death, and I just remember you're just walking into this mansion and you just hear somebody knocking at a door the entire time you're walking around. You're just answering doors, going around opening doors, trying to figure out where this knocking is coming from. And I think it's pretty much eventually you go back to the front door, and it just keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire game because you're just afraid of anything that could kill you. I have a memory of, like Andrew said with his father, I remember sitting in my room back with an old CRT, completely in the dark, playing this game, about to crap my pants because I'm walking down this hallway where these giant axes are swinging and they'll pop out. Like, you never know when exactly they're coming, but you got to be ready to move back so you don't get hit. And I remember my father just coming through the door, not trying to scare the crap out of me, just being like, "Hey, you want some dessert?" And just, I screamed. And he's like, "Why are you playing that game if it's scaring you that much?" And I remember just being like, because it's so good. Like, I want to beat it. Um, this is the game that, as you progress like further in the story, there's a part where it tricks you and it makes your GameCube show a blue screen saying the system has crashed, and to like restart your system. And it's just the game dicking with you, and it's just a bunch of mind games that plays on you. And I can't tell you what the hell the story was about because it was going from like past, like in the past to the future to the present. Like, it was all over the place, but like it is a game that holds up by today's standards too, and it definitely has like Andrew with his head has I always have the memory of playing that and being the crap scared out of me, and no game's done that to me since.
All right. For me, and my number two. So my number two, I picked the first one, but it could easily have been the second one, and it's really on the list because of the whole series. But Gears 1, Gears of War 1, that for me was one of my favorite multiplayer games. That was one of the first truly like bloody games that I played as a kid. Um, like, and as a third person shooter, I was never really into that, but this game like changed all that. Whether it's close combat, long distance, in that game you had both your powerful weapons for both angles. It's actually how I got the name Spider Stags, is from that series and from that game, the first Gears of War. Which is a fun story. I had that. So Gears of War is very special to me. One of my favorite games of all time. The story and the campaign with Marcus and Coltrane, it's the Coltrane baby. Like, like that's just, for me, Gears. I wouldn't have been honest with myself if Gears wasn't number two, and it would be number one when we get to my number one. My number one.
We know who you're picking, number one. Nah, but Gears, I did play the first Gears, the second Gears. They were fantastic games, man. They bring back such great memories.
Yeah. I actually did not like the first Gears when
Really?
I played it. Yeah, I didn't play that much online with it, but like I didn't like the shooting to me just didn't feel quite right. But Gears 2, I absolutely loved Gears 2.
See, Gears 1 beat out Gears 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the campaign, the last mission when you're on the train with General Ram,
Mm-hmm.
and he has the crows around him, and you gotta wait for them to go out, and then you gotta go attack them.
Yes,
That's one of my all-time favorite like boss battles because it was so hard and it took like you had to time everything right, or if not, you got like shredded by the crows that he had. So that's that. Gears is number two for me.
I like it. All right, ready for the final round here?
Yeah, but first I think I got a little bit of breaking news.
Really? What do you
right
got?
now? Yeah. So it's looking. I'm reading a couple things right now, but it's looking like the Apex Season 1 Battle Pass will release March 12th.
Ooh.
Which a couple people are.
We need like a
talking about right now.
Breaking news alert sound.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You guys heard it here first.
I thought you were going to tell me something with Le'Veon Bell. I was a little...
No. It's not totally confirmed. I'm trying to look through right now, but it's what a lot of people are saying right now. So, I mean, we'll see, but definitely hype if that's the case.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm checking.
Um,
Oh, well, first, I mean, did you guys have any? I mean, I guess we can have overlapping ones here. Do you guys have any honorable mentions, like something that didn't make the list that you
I
really
have
did want to include?
I have like 12,000. Now, I'll give one honorable mention. That's the orange box.
Okay.
Which technically was 3 games in one, but all 3 games came out in the span of 2000 to 2009, and it also came out as one game. But huge fan of the Half-Life series, big fan of that. So Half-Life 2 being in there was fantastic. I played the hell out of that. Me and my dad both played the hell out of that. The game introduced me to Portal. Portal, again, fantastic game series. And the Orange Box was, I mean, Team Fortress was just plain fun. So that's definitely one of my honorable mentions.
Nice. Andrew, what about you?
So I guess the 2 that came off my list were San Andreas and Pokemon. They could technically be honorable mentions, but my honorable mention would be Dead Space.
Nice.
Dead Space. Dead Space was one of the first, I don't really like scary stuff. And that's one of the first, scary game series that I fully played through. I played through all 3 of them. I wish they had, I wish they could do that again, that kind of game. Because you had to play through it to get, that was like a complete game. Now you get, I just froze again. I apologize.
Right.
But Dead Space for me is my honorable mention. That could have been on the list, but it didn't.
Gotcha. I have one honorable mention. I don't want to say because one of you guys may have chose it, but another one that wasn't on there that I actually just kind of realized I left off of it, but it's kind of good I did is Dragon Quest IX for the DS. That one came out in 2009, so it just made the cut, but I sunk a ton of hours into that one, but I honestly couldn't tell you pretty much anything about the story of that one. That one was it was online multiplayer, and me and another Sean played that thing for hours, just going through they had random dungeons, and I remember putting a ton of hours into that thing too. But all right, other than that,
All
let's
right.
move on. Sean, what do you got?
Yeah, you ready?
First?
All right, so for my number one, like I said in my previous entry, definitely the game I put the most hours in growing up from 2008 and on. I played it for years. Drum roll. It's Fallout 3.
Woo!
Yeah, man.
Not where I thought you were going.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you think? Just out of curiosity, where'd you think I was
Well,
going?
it was going to be my other honorable mention was Uncharted 1 or 2. I thought one of them was going to be on your list.
That's what I
Honestly, it almost was because I was actually over at my parents' house earlier, and my dad started up a brand new game of Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, the first one, while I was there. So I was like, it was crazy that he did that. But anyway, now Fallout 3 definitely my favorite game in the 2000s all time. This game it completely blew my mind away. It's one of the funnest. I probably had so many, probably 15, maybe 16 different playthroughs where I tried out different things. If I was an unarmed character, if I was a melee character, if I was a sniper character, assault, everything. I tried a straight charisma. I tried to get through the game without killing anybody. Tried to go through a game only killing people, and it's again kind of with the theme of my choices here. They all had a morality choice. You could either choose to be good, you could choose to be evil. And I just love that. I love the options like that in games. So, I mean, yeah, Fallout 3, definitely probably my favorite game all time from the 2000s.
Nice. All right. For my final one here, I had to go old school, and I didn't think this one was going to make the list, but it was a prequel to one of the other games on my list, and that is Paper Mario for Nintendo 64. It came
Look
out
at him.
Came out in 2000, believe it or not.
How do you have all of these?
You have not seen this room. That's why I need a bigger
house. This man
house.
went to Bandit Video Games and picked them all
up. Now, again, same thing about the other Paper Mario is I put a ton of hours into it. I remember looking forward to the GameCube coming out and being on the last year of the Nintendo 64 and then I'm pretty much done. And my grandma bought it for me for my birthday. And I was like, well, I'll play it. It doesn't look like something I like. And I remember that whole summer, I did nothing but play that game. And I remember I was down the shore and I had my Nintendo 64 in there and it was like a rainy day and my controller broke and I played the game with a steering wheel controller from the Nintendo 64. I was that addicted to it. And I I've loved that game ever since. It's probably like my all-time favorite game, or at least one of them. But that's it. Andrew?
All right, Andrew, round us off.
So I just have one more honorable mention before I get to there. That I don't even know if it came out in the time frame, but it's a game that I did put a lot of hours into. Tekken 3.
Oh.
Tekken was a big game in my household on the original. I think it was definitely PlayStation 1. So that was another honorable mention. But my number one is my favorite game of all time. You guys probably know where I'm going with this. Halo 3. Halo 3. I can't say enough between the custom games to the campaign in Halo 3. I remember my brother got it for his birthday. It came out on my brother's birthday, the year it came out. And my brother got the Legendary Edition, which came with the Master Chief helmet.
I got that too.
But it was like the game was inside of it, and it was a display. And he got it for his birthday. And I remember we used to go to my grandmother's house every Tuesday for dinner. And his birthday was on Tuesday, and my dad gave it to him. And my brother literally brought his Xbox to my grandmother's house, and we were playing it on the TV because we couldn't wait to get into that game. But the campaign was fantastic. Halo as a series is incredible. I've played Halo 3 so many times. Like, that was probably the only game I played for like 2 years. And like from multiplayer, all the multiplayer maps were perfect. Custom games between Bat Kid, where you had to get through the maze and you had the slow guy coming after you called Bat Kid. Cops and robbers. Yeah, everything. It was just, you could do so much with your friends in that. That was the most hours I spent on a console game, 100%, no doubt, was Halo 3. So that's my number one, hands down. No contest with that.
Dude, you're making me feel so old because I was working at Hollywood Video on launch night for that, with Hollywood and Game Crazy, and I did buy that helmet as well too. And
that helmet was probably the coolest thing that ever came with a game for me.
That was going to be so much cooler though, and that is like honestly one of the reasons I don't buy collector's editions anymore, because that one was supposed to be a full-on helmet that you could like put on, and then they changed it because so many people wanted it, and it was supposed to be only like 15,000 of them made. And I actually got a pre-order in to get one, and then it was just like, no, we're making a shit ton more. And I was like, oh, come on.
The way it was so it was the helmet, and it slid onto like this game case structure looking thing, and inside was the game, like the art book, and like something else.
Here for a second. Let me see.
It was. Do you still have it?
Yeah, I do.
I probably have it in my basement, but it was literally a stand, and then the helmet slid right on the stand, and it was Master Chief's helmet. It's the best.
It's buried somewhere. I don't know.
It's the best collector's item that I ever had. Like, and I don't remember I don't know what it cost.
It was like $150, I think, when it came out.
I remember it being pretty expensive, especially back then. That was expensive for, now you get all these games with different shit for.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with the Fallout Pip-Boy from Fallout 4. I mean, that was like, obviously not part of this list, but that was one of my favorite like collector's items I got.
But I remember with the helmet, like Halo 3 was just top notch game. That was peak of my video game life was Halo 3.
You peaked in high school, dude.
Yeah,
I did peak in high school. You saw that picture of me. I was peaked.
Kara peaked too.
Okay.
Karen was the downfall.
All right. Well, did you guys have anything else to add? If not, we'll wrap up the podcast for this week and go into the podcast and take our pants off.
I just wanted to show you guys, because I know I talked about it in the previous podcast, the red controller.
Oh, yeah.
Shameless plug.
Shameless
it does look beautiful.
But so it's incredible. Looks awesome. Has the rubberized grip on the back, like the more expensive Xbox controllers have now. But the finish on it, it's like the sport red. It's like in the car, like a car would have. Just looks flawless. I absolutely love it. And I got it on sale from Microsoft Store for pre-order, and I saved like 20% or something like that.
Nice.
So can't complain.
Still not as good as this, though, right here.
The Elite.
Oh, yeah.
See, I never got into the Elite
So nice.
because I own a Scuff controller
Hey.
Cheater.
with the 4 paddles on the back.
I can put the paddles, but I never did with this yet. Well, I don't have them all now.
The paddles all on the back.
No, but I just want to say, my weekend, it wasn't complete without, just getting this in the mail. Standard PS4 controller, no, nothing if you could see the non-rubberized grips, just the regular grip. This thing glows. It's pretty cool.
It's all right.
Paint. It's midnight blue, like you would see on a normal like Toyota or something.
That's what this is. We match. We match.
So the best. So.
Oh, by the way, Halo 3.
You guys are nothing with this right here. The Switch.
Are we showing on controllers? Because I only have 2.
Hey, I know Jim has this one too. The
Oh, yeah,
Oh, Jesus. All right, hold on.
Here you go, right here. The Duke.
With look at that, the crusted food on the That's heat. You have a red one too. The red. No.
I got the heat. So I call this one. This one's the heat.
All these people listening on Spotify, we're just showing controllers. You can check out the YouTube channel or the vlog on Twitch.tv. Lightest Eggs and see these controllers in person.
Check out the YouTubes because that was actually pretty funny what we just did.
I have to. Can I show this one here? Is it going to work for me?
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude! Do I need to get my Switch paddles?
No,
I'll get my Joy-Cons if you really want me to.
I only have
it's not working. I have the Duke here. I have the one they redid for the Xbox One, and it's a video screen inside of here and does the Xbox logo and everything.
It looks like a toilet.
Hey, don't be disrespecting the OG.
Yo, it's terrible.
Xbox still has the best controller, hands down.
Get at me, bro. Get at me. Get out of here. The PS4 controller is better than the Xbox.
This sits here.
Stop.
Jim, you can agree with me, Jim.
I have the same thing.
It's most comfortable in your hand.
I have the same thing. And no,
the most comfortable controller is the original NES controller, hands down.
All right, Jim, you just ruined it.
You know what, Jim? I'm done with you.
All right, I'm going to wrap up the podcast here. We're going to go into overtime.
Sponsor plug.
Yeah, that's right. We do have a sponsor. We are sponsored by Jim's Repair Service in South Jersey. I'll put his information down in the info box of whatever you're listening to. You can just do a Google search for Jim's Repair Service and all his information will come up. But he does everything from heating, air conditioning, handyman work, whatever. He just fixed my deck this weekend. So, whatever you need him to do, give him a call.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and he printed the lovely banner, which I got to put up higher or something like that. And Andrew dropped our sponsorship with Red Bull. We had that going, and he screwed it up.
He messed it up.
He screwed it up.
I wish.
Mountain Dew, if you're listening.
Red Bull, Mountain Dew. You can battle for our sponsorship.
Yeah, or body armor.
I never had body armor, so I can't vouch for them.
Oh,
this is a Swiss energy drink called Gatherad. It's pretty good. It's not that great, but
all right, I'm going to wrap us up here. Thanks for listening, everybody. I love you.